sich dagegen mehr. Es sind Helden gefragt. Oh Garde, oh Garde. Es sind Helden gefragt.
Greetings gamers everywhere, I'm Swippenai2 and we're looking at En Garde. I might have butchered that little word there, but En Garde. Whatever, you know, the French word. Which is kind of funny because that's kind of why I chose the intro song there from the German band D'Artagnan, which is singing the song En Garde, but this game is actually taking place in Spain. So yeah, there's that. Exactly where in Spain I can't remember. It might be a fictional town, but it's definitely an interesting game. This it's a single-player adventure, action-adventure game with a very cartoonish style to it, to the graphics on that. It actually reminds me very much of old school games like Spyro, Crash, Bandicoot, Sly Cooper, and those kinds in the art style. And it looks really good. It's very detailed, much more detailed than I would expect. The world also looks it's very colorful, as you can see. So there's a very colorful palette. Yeah, a full vibrant color palette of well, bright colors. Which I do like because most of the games I played recently are very dark or they're realistic, and realistic quite often equals dark. But I gotta say this is a nice change of pace for me. Because the dark games, well, you get tired of those after a while. But it's a very colorful game and, well, not much more to say about the art style there because you can see it and it looks really good and I liked it. The character designs are a bit cartoonish, but they're also at the same time kind of funny and they look good. Now, as for gameplay, it's very arcadey and it's linear. There are some side paths you can take to find secret rooms and such, but not in the secret rooms. There doesn't seem to be any collectibles except for lore things like papers you can read, posters and such things. So there's not much to find except for the linear progression in the mission. It's chapter based, so you complete a chapter and then you move on to the next chapter. But after each loading screen there's a checkpoint, so if you want to quit, well, quit after a short loading screen. And then you can just continue after that. As far as I know, there might be a saving icon somewhere after battles as well. Honestly, I have no idea. I didn't pay that too much attention, but anyway, you enter a new location and then there's enemies to fight and then you fight the enemy and then you progress to the next, and might be some obstacles to overcome, like some, what's the word I'm looking for, platforming, you know, ordinary that, and some small puzzles. I want to say puzzles, but so far I haven't seen much puzzle really because they're very easy. They're very easy, like pull a lever there and then jump away or jump across and go through the gate if you just open that kind of puzzle. So it's more of a platforming, open a door and then move on with your life. So yeah, there isn't much there, but in the way of the game is based or progressed through the chapters, I do like it. It's a nice change of pace again because it's linear and I don't have to worry about, oh, what's over there, what's over there, what's over there. Just that's where I need to go and that's where I'm gonna go. And if I feel like it, I might choose a different path. There's a bunch of achievements to find and I hope there's not an achievement for finding every lore bit. But I have noticed there are also challenges for each chapter, so I'm guessing completing all the chapters in each chapter each challenge is every challenge in each chapter is a thing to do. So I will have to keep that in mind. Because I do like collecting achievements, yes.
Let's see your departure.
Now, get to the combat. Well, combat is actually really refreshing. It's parry-based, mostly. You attack the enemy and then you parry the attacks at the right moment, or dodge if there is an unstoppable attack. You know, the usual red thing blows and then you're like, oh no! And then you click dodge instead of parry and then you dodge. Well, hopefully. I made the mistake of doing the exact opposite a few times. And if you happen to die in combat, well, you get to restart right before the encounter you just did, so just, well, there you go, and now you go in again. Now, I will say that the combat might look somewhat easy, but you can only take 6 hits, and most encounters, especially later on, will involve multiple enemies. At start you get a few, but then as you progress, well, there's gonna be a lot more enemies. Enemies like bombardiers who just throw bombs at you. Then of course the easier grunts that just die from 1 or 2 hits, and then we have of course the more advanced soldiers who will actually take more hits and will also attack harder or quicker. And a bit more, it's basically if you attack one of them, the other ones around you, or at least one of them, will do a unstoppable attack which you will need to dodge. So you will have to take care of multiple enemies at the same time, more often than not. There are things in the environment you can use to stun them, or you can, as I learned later on, is that when the enemy has a marker, I can't actually find the right word for it. You know, not the question mark, but the opposite of a question mark above their head. The yellow, not question mark above their heads. Then they can be kicked. So you can kick them and then you will knock them back. If you knock them into a wall, they will get stunned. And if you knock them into a wall rack, or weapon rack, then the weapon rack will fall over them and they will be defeated. Now, I say defeated because you don't seem to kill any of the enemies, because after you defeat the enemy and you walk up to them, or just running beside them, they will say something, and it's like, I'm just sleeping. I'm just sleeping. Or, I beat you next time, or no one saw us losing, right? And one of the funniest lines that I actually laughed out loud was one of the grunts saying her vision is based on movement. And they always lie still. It's just the voice. So yeah, it's a funny little thing in the game. I love that. The humor it's almost everywhere, and that's the way they designed the game. You can really see that in a lot of the conversations and a lot of the attitude of the characters around. But I haven't gotten very far into the game just yet, so the attitude and the aesthetic of the game might change, and that it could become a little bit darker further on. I don't know, but I doubt it will. Although I do love this because there's so many games now they're trying to be too serious and just fail at being serious, that they're not funny and they're not serious, they just are. Forspoken is a good example of this, and I think Atlas Fallen, which I have also bought and are playing, is a good example as well. I'm not saying this game can't be serious, but a lot of the times the seriousness is not quite there because of the actors, because of the voice acting and maybe something in the particular cutscene or just something. But this game, well, it's all humor. There's not much seriousness, but the story is progressing along a serious path, you could say. But I am enjoying the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the game. Right now I'm just on the chapter 2, so I haven't seen that much in terms of different environments, but I have seen like the outside of the city, or inside the city, inside the houses, and in the dungeons, the prison that I'm in. So yeah, there's a lot of I'm hoping there will be some outside areas in the woods and such, so that will be a lot of different kind of environments to find. Because environmental difference is important in all games, I would say. Doesn't matter if it's singular or if it's like straightforward or an open world. Environmental difference is the thing that will keep someone to come back to the game and not just ignore it after a while. But I have so many games to play right now. I'm in 2 betas, or rather I'm playing the open beta for Palia. I'm in the closed beta for Enshrouded. Really enjoying that, by the way. And I also bought Atlas Fallen. I also bought Sengoku Dynasty. So I have plenty of games to play. I haven't progressed very far in Forspoken. Yeah, so I got a lot on my plate here for games, but yeah. I'll try to find some time for them. I'll try. I mean, that's all I can do. That's all of us can do. But this has been On Guard, or however you pronounce that. It's a really interesting game, and I'm loving the heck out of it so far, and I'll continue playing it as much as I can. I hope this has been an informative video for you, and well, check out On Guard on Steam. It's not early access, so you could say it's a fully fledged game so far. I've seen a few updates to it to fix some issues, of course, some random issues that I myself have seen nothing of, basically. It's $20, so it's not steep, but could put off some of you. I totally understand that. But I'm enjoying it. It's a really nice ode to the older games, I would say, like Crash Bandicoot, Sly Cooper, and those. The combat is very basic, but it's really nice. I might as well actually mention the controls real quick here. You also have special abilities where you use LB, and attacking is only on X, and Y, the button Y, because I'm using a gamepad, is the parry button, which is a bit weird, but you quickly get used to it, so yeah. B is for dodging. So yeah, there's that at least. At least they went with B, and A for jumping, so yeah. It's a bit weird with Y being the parry button, but I'm getting used to it, so yeah, controls, you get used to them. I've been Sweepin92, have a great life, and I hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye!
On guard!
Aren't those a bit too much?
On guard! You know what you get for being a hero? Nothing!
I think you can handle it. I wrote your name. Oh, this one!
You just made me lose a bet!